How to find the best contractor, the $1 million question. Everywhere I go, people really ask me this question a lot. Hey Omar, how do you find your team, build subcontractors? How can people connect? Every time I go somewhere, people always seems to struggle to find a good contractor. I struggled with that in the beginning till I became one myself. So I could always say, if you're here in Pittsburgh, reach out to us. But here's the truth. There's good contractors out there. And today I'm going to share with you a few simple steps to follow that will help you find these good contractors and stay away from the bad ones. So let's dig into it. If you're new to this channel, my name is Omar Mohammed, and I run a real estate investment company and a construction business for real estate investors. This year alone, we did over 60 flips just for other people, beside the ones we did for our own. So renovation and construction is one of the most important part for a successful flip, BRRRR, or a rental property. You need a good contractor in your team. What is a good contractor? It's simple. Somebody that's gonna show up, somebody that you can trust, that they're gonna get the work done on time, and their prices is reasonable. They're not gonna charge you arm and leg for things you don't know. So there's some simple questions right away that you can find out if this is the right fit for you. And I'll tell you this from the beginning, if you're looking for the cheapest price, the cheapest contractor, you're gonna end up with the worst one. It's a rule of thumb. Unless it's a one guy and that's what you want, this house does not have to be done till 3-4 years. They give you a very cheap price, and you can go with them. You hear it over and over and over. Good work is not cheap, and cheap work is not good. So now that that is cleared out the way, we also don't necessarily want the most expensive contractor out there, because they're an investor. We're trying to make some money, right? So as long as their work is reasonably priced, one of my clients hated the word cheap. She liked to use reasonably priced, so we'll use that. You can still make profit, and you could still find somebody reasonably priced. I charge my customer very reasonably, and I still end up making good money. First of all is to agree on a budget. It's okay. I love when people who are maybe a little bit more savvy have a budget in their mind and always have a scope of work, especially if they do not understand investment, because not every contractor does understand real estate investment, doesn't understand what your vision, what you're trying to do here to flip the property, or make sure you have a clear scope of work to tell them and a budget you're trying to stick to. So you can even hold on the budget till they come up with it, but definitely have a scope of work. And there's ways you can get a scope of work. That will be for another episode. We'll break it down, how to write down a scope of work, but get a scope of work, give it to them, which can be as simple as what you want done to this house in your own language, right? I want to paint the rooms. If you're just starting, maybe I want to paint, I want to do flooring, make the kitchen nicer. They will understand what you mean. And their job is to give you options. So look out for options from them. So let's take it step by step. So first you give them scope and you set clear expectation. That's your first test to them. So you test them. Okay, we met at the house, you checked it out. If they ask you to pay them, that's fair. I don't charge people for estimates. Some contractors do. It is time consuming, so don't freak out if they do. But here's what you should get. When you first meet a contractor, you should get a clear agreement from them. That's their first test. Hey, you looked at the house, you can write the bid. When should I expect that? If they say 2 days, in 2 days, do follow up with them. If they ignored you, didn't listen to you, never came back to you, that's probably your answer to not hire them, right? Even if they come back 3 weeks after, do not hire them, because they can communicate in the beginning with a simple task. They're not gonna communicate with the huge task. Ask about timeline, right? Ask about when they're gonna bring the estimate back for you to review, and follow up on that, and thank them when they do it. It goes a long way. So now let's say they did bring you the estimate. Do not just stick with one estimate. What I would do is I'll go and get a second estimate and a third estimate, 1 or 2 at least extra, to just compare prices. And as we said, do not hire the cheapest, but you can go with the middle one. And if you don't feel comfortable trying to get another estimate, and you can compare the scope of work as well. Now that you compared the prices, you should have more questions about it. Like, okay, how's the timeline work? Do they have a plan? What's starting first, right? Their estimate should be in order. You can ask them, is there anything there they should factor in, because this is an investment? Should you have any money on the side or anything that could happen? And how do they handle that? How do they like payments? How would they like to get paid? That's a very important one. I'm a GC and I barely ever take money up front. I don't want people's money till the work started. I rather them owing me money than me owing them work. I don't like to owe people work. I know not every contractor can do that. If you're gonna give them money up front, I do that when they show up at work. the first day. They want to get materials, I'll buy the materials for you, unless you have trusted them. So how do you really trust them? It's the first time you work. It's very simple. Google their name. Go online. People do not wait. If you Google any contractor name, you will see their name. You'll see their company. You'll see people reviewing it. That's one way to check. And the second way to check is to ask them for referrals, and do call these referrals. And when you call the referrals, ask these questions. Did they finish on time? Did they communicate? Did they go over budget? And how was the quality? Those are the 4 important things to you as an investor to successfully complete a project. That's somebody you don't want to lose. Before taking the risk, just make sure you ask these questions to the referrals you got. Now that you have got the referrals, the job started, I would pay per task. What does that mean is this is how I charge. Do it task by task. Don't ever go pay 30% upfront or 40% upfront. Not necessarily that they're bad, but what if something happened, right? And do have a contract. It's always good to have a contract. Do not forget this part. Always ask if they have insurance. Have them send it to you. Call the insurance company and verify. Here's something that happened to me when I was starting. I hired a tree guy. I didn't have any tree guys. I hired a tree guy. Came the first day, cut the tree. Tree falls on my roof, big hole. He has no insurance. There's nothing I can do. What am I gonna do? I mean, of course, I got him back to fix the roof, but it took some, yelling and getting into that. You might not want to do that. So save yourself the hassle, get their insurance policy, give them a call, and ask if this policy is active. Because I've also seen policies where people just fake it. So make sure you call, verify they have insurance, liability insurance. They mess up something happened to the house, it's not waste. So now that you've gone through your due diligence, throughout the project, be involved, but do not be hard to work with. What do I mean like that? There is clients we could work with that we would absolutely love, even extra stuff for without them knowing. And there's clients that just very hard to work with. So how to be a good partner with that contractor that you find is simply do not micromanage. Do not act like you understand it all or they don't understand it. Get a second opinion. But you can ask them questions, and if something is not making sense, ask them to explain it to you. But you see sometimes these homeowners that would act as okay, well, you should have done it this way, or you should have done it this way, you should have done it this way. If you don't trust them that they will do it right, just don't hire them from the beginning. You can really see red flags in the beginning. If you start seeing red flags, do not ignore them. If you walk into the property and it looks like trash, literally they have trash everywhere, it's not clean, you can ask them simply to clean it. Then why does the property look like that? If you see them behind on stuff not straight, cut them right there. Cut your losses quickly. Another important part is follow up. Always follow up. Make notes and follow up. If things are saying they will be delivered that day, check if they got delivered or not. If they're saying there's an inspection that day, check if the inspection happened or not. Another thing, make sure you check on the house. Go to the property. Don't just take anybody's word for it. I wouldn't even take the city word for it. If they say, okay, this is past inspection, this is good, they send you that, doesn't mean nothing. Make sure you have eyes. Either you're getting videos or sending somebody to check the work, or you're going by yourself. So many times we come after another contractor that have messed up the house, but I was like, how did nobody see this? Where were the people? Okay, he did the plumbing and it's leaking everywhere. Then they put the drywall. Then they painted it. When is the last time anybody been here to check on this contractor's work? And the answer is never. So make sure you go there and check. In the beginning when I was starting and I hired other people, after the plumber would have said, hey, roughing is done, guess what I did? I went, I turned on the pipes and tested them all. It passed inspection, but I was putting so much money on the line that I could not afford to lose, so I had to do it myself. So make sure you test, trust but verify. Now, if you go through all these steps, I bet you it's very, very hard that you end up making these mistakes that will cost you a lot of money. So for clarity, always verify, do not rush, call references, ask questions, set up tests, follow up, and if you see anything that is not correct, make sure you talk to them or you cut them loose and find somebody else. So if you got any value from this episode, make sure you subscribe and follow, and we'll see you all next time.